Uncle Father, baby daddy.
Uncle Father, baby daddy.
Can you hear this?
All right.
Come on, set a spell.
Are we ready?
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about Halloween.
I think
That's horrible.
I'm from LA.
Claude's from LA. He knows how to
from
center
LA.
the camera. Are we all looking like we're just so cool and relaxed?
Fucking retardedly relaxed.
This jacket cost him $168.
everyone from LA has a wife.
Dude, so you're working with you.
Yeah, you too. That's what we do.
Dude, REM broke up. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I was just absolutely unimpressed.
Because
I just didn't give a shit. You know, whatever.
I
10,000
just figured you were
Maniacs,
from
yes.
Oh, I love Natalie Merchant.
Yes, but Natalie Merchant, that would be difficult to date. I mean, she'd be so incredibly beautiful, but you know she's got some issues. She, you know what I mean? Oh, when you bake her a cake, she tear it out and throw it in your face.
Do you find that that's the only kind of women I really go for? Is the one that has the fucking hardcore issues?
Exactly.
Like I could one that has dad issues.
Well,
Actually,
just
wait,
to
I was
let you
like-
know,
wait,
I was the one that just passed her up.
oh, you were?
Yeah.
I was
Malice says
I usually
no.
pass
I was
those up.
Because I'm from, I've been in AA for a while. I'm sober. That's what we do in LA. And
Yeah,
there was a
right.
girl that I was actually dating, and she told me this one time. I swear to God, I go, because everybody in AA is fucked up. And this chick was like, this is not alcoholic behavior.
Wait,
So,
and when they're in the meeting?
So this chick, so the chick
Okay.
says, this chick goes, I kid you not, I go, were you ever molested? And she goes, without missing, no, but I did make out with my dad one time.
Really?
So
So there's a line.
She instigated it?
No, she
Is
just
that
said,
why
like,
she wasn't
so-
molested?
I go, oh, so.
And then you, of course, went,
I was
what are you
like,
doing
you
later?
are the right
Like,
girl for me.
Yeah. What's going on with you?
Obviously a good kisser.
She told me
AA in LA, that's arrogant asshole? Is that what
Well,
that is?
those of us that have had problems, we go to AA and CA so we can live in LA without the DA.
Oh, now see, this is comedy.
It's hysterical. I'm from LA.
Can we get
He
like some
started
kind
that.
of thing on the screen where we just put "I'm from LA" across his face?
The claw.
It just
circulating.
is from LA.
LA.
Constantly on the screen underneath his face. It's from LA.
From L-
From
no,
LA.
This
just say
face is
from
from
LA. From LA.
What's the best costume you've ever? You've got a good costume going for Monday.
Yeah, I have a killer costume.
I think it's
over.
great.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be my best costume.
I can't imagine topping it. It's good.
Yeah.
What's your
I'm
costume?
gonna be a sock
Don't
monkey.
tease us.
But I'm gonna be a sock monkey that's been fucked up for a few years. Like,
Kind of on the bricks.
no. More like it's been around the block for a few years and
Yeah.
it's been fucked up over time. Like cat scratches
Dirty,
all over it.
Like a 42-year-old sock monkey.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
and it's
Isn't
been,
that nice?
been like 3 generations of mouths it's been in.
I
It's
think
gonna
it's
have some
great.
stank on the top.
Yeah,
it's gonna
stains.
be all-
What about you?
Crusty.
Best Halloween costume I ever did was the next door neighbor that lived next to me was the bully of the town, or the neighborhood, not the town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just total bully. Everybody, even parents hated this guy. You know, so I dressed up as him one Halloween, and then waited to see him leave, and I went in front of him. So whenever he went to a house, they thought he'd already been there. You know, you follow me?
Yeah.
So and he's a bully, and everybody hated him anyway. So it was just constantly parents going, "You can't circle back. You can't."
Because I got my candy stolen once, but I never got it stolen before it even got to the house.
See, that's where you're working.
That's
with over
nice,
here.
dude.
I'm not from LA. I couldn't buy that. At a
I was
store.
20.
They would be
22
like,
when I
oh,
got my
here he
candy
comes
stolen
again.
by
Give him
one.
some more candy.
Right. Don't hurt him. He had a rough childhood.
Exactly. Look, he wants all of our candy. You know, for me, my costume, my brother actually had a really creative costume one year. He, remember when Tylenol killed everybody? Do you remember that? That's the reason we had the safety caps.
Yeah.
Because I got poisoned Tylenol.
Tampering with
Yeah.
Tylenol.
So my brother actually took a cardboard box and painted it just like a Tylenol bottle that year and went
Nice.
around. He just
That'd
had
be
that.
nice.
Do you remember when we were kids at razor blades and apples and shit? People would say that? They'd
Yeah.
poison in candy. They would x-ray your candy for free.
That would be awesome. An awesome costume is to go as someone who's bitten into a candied apple with razor blades in it. Your
And just
mouth's
have
all
your-
fucked
yeah,
up.
just
You got some razor blades sticking out and blood running down.
I actually did that when I was 6.
But not
You
on
bit into
purpose.
a razor
Yeah,
blade?
and bit into a razor blade.
Did you really? I'm
And
sorry
fix-
about the drama.
Fix my hair lip.
The best costume I think I've ever heard of was, I believe it was in Chicago. They have a huge Halloween party where they actually have, it's like a $10,000 prize for the best costume. The winner was like 2 or 3 years ago. 4 guys dressed up as early Beatles, like, Love Me Do Beatles, right? And then they got 100 girls to scream and chase them down the street. So it was literally, the costume was 104 people involved in one costume. So they won the 10 grand, they split it between 104 people.
Yeah, they should have had like 96 girls. That way it would have been even like $100 per.
See, I like the way you're thinking. This is nice. This is nice. You know?
They had to divide by 104. That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
You know, we had a Halloween party in LA last year when I was there. And,
You live in LA?
I do.
Oh,
we had a Halloween
God,
party.
this
This
is
is
so
recent. This is a
great.
year ago. Theme was you had to do 1970s tennis outfits or Royal Tenenbaums. So I had knee socks. I had knee socks up with the white with a little green stripe like we used to have when we were
Right,
kids.
yeah.
And I had a salmon-colored shirt with a fucking sweater that was tied on. And I had a big fake mustache, like a big full-on like Hemingway mustache, and a tennis racket and like blue and white seersucker shorts and a white belt and the whole fucking thing. I looked terrible. And then I realized at some point these two guys had fucking crashed the party. It was like a dude with a fucking hoodie and a nose ring, no costume, which is a dead giveaway, you know? So I was like, who the fuck is that guy? He was going into my bedroom, right? The one guy not in a costume but in a football jersey. I go, hey man, where are you going? He goes, oh, I'm just looking for the bathroom. And I go, dude, who invited you here? Like, not to be a dick, but you're not in a costume. You know, he goes, I'm your neighbor's cousin.
I'm your cousin's
He goes,
neighbor.
I'm your neighbor's cousin. I go, which neighbor? He goes, oh, next door. And I go,
That's where
okay,
neighbors
dude.
are.
So I grabbed him and his buddy, and I was like, I'm sorry, dude. I don't mean to be a dick, but, you know, you guys got to go. It's invitation only. And so I escorted them out. I go, if you guys want to take a beer, take a beer. You know what I mean? If they would have introduced themselves, no harm, no foul, but the fact that they were, like, going in our bedroom, looking at shit, and I was a dick, so take some food. And then I got the guy to the front door. He starts to walk out, and he turns around and he goes, you know what? You're a fucking asshole. And I went, you know, and then I looked at what I was wearing and I go, yeah, I'll give that to you. I was like an asshole. I was like an asshole.
I gotta go story.
You had actually.
You want me to go first?
No, you go first. Okay.
All right.
I'm kind of okay. All right.
Yeah, it
so,
was 86.
It was close to an alien story.
Okay.
It's not even.
All right. So when my parents moved to Tennessee, they moved to Nashville. And they bought an old farmhouse that had been there for 100 years or whatever. And so one night, my mom was telling me, she was like, there's a ghost that's in this house. There's a ghost that's in this house. I've seen this apparition. And I was like, that's, you know, creepy. And, you know, I'm fucking scared of the dark anyway. So my parents have this fucking electronic Santa Claus wall that when you walk by it goes, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Right? Right? Fucking scary as shit, right? So that's sitting on the wall. And I was just sleeping in a room which is opposite of this wall where this fucking thing is. And sure enough, like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle. It's like fucking nobody's fucking up. It's 3:30 in the morning, right? Fucking, you know, I look around, nothing going on. Turn the fucking thing off. I go back, get into my bed. Jingle bells, jingle all. You know what I mean? Freaked me the fuck out. I smashed that fucking Santa Claus. No, I didn't.
You have an actual ghost story
Have
that
an
you
actual-
really saw some shit that would change your, like this, you know, some celebrity ghost story shit, but like something that you really, seriously, like you
I have a
were
real
life-changing, you were afraid for your life, and now you were going to tell the story.
I was 16 years old. There was a house. We lived in the country. There was a house. It was supposedly haunted. I wasn't allowed to play in it, so of course we go all the time, you know.
Right.
And we camped out in the house, and it was the place for the kids to go if you're really cool, you know. And nothing ever happened. I mean, we camp out in there, do whatever. There's an old wrought iron fence around the front yard of this house. The family that owned it put a newer fence that started right next to the wrought iron fence and covered the backyard. This somebody busted a hole through the wall. You could walk literally up the steps through the front door onto the back porch. So I'm standing on the back porch with Matt McReynolds, good friend of mine, okay? And we're smoking cigarettes, and he probably had some beer, whatever, you know, and we're just sitting out there talking on the back porch, and then Matt just shut up. And he was just, and I looked at him, he's just, just like scared to death. And I went, what is it? And he goes, you see that woman? And I looked, and there was a woman on the outside of the new fence. There was a big farm field. She was out there, and she was just standing there next to this tree, just staring at us, you know? And I went, well, what do we do? And Matt goes, on the count of 3, turn around and run. We run through that hole, down the hall, and he's in front of me running. He jumps off those steps, and she's standing right there.
What?
She's
You
in the
saw it?
front yard. I swear to God, she's in the front yard right there. Not out of breath, not like she beat us there. She's standing still in the front yard. Matt jumps, and I'm midair when I notice her, and it fucked up my jump. Matt hit the ground, jumped on my bicycle, which he did not have a bicycle, and he takes off on my bicycle. I hit the ground wrong because my vision's all messed up, and I'm just laying there like this on the ground, and she's maybe 3 feet away from me, and I was just laying there, and I thought I heard her say, "Don't come here."